All right, guys. The last time we were trying to populate our art club form, and then I remember I said I don't want us to waste our time typing this line by line since I'm going to leave you guys with the code. So I've gone ahead to uh, configure these views. So if you look at the file explorer of our VS Code under the views folder, you realize I've added some uh, views here. I've added the hardclub.ejs file. I've taken the liberty to add dated.ejs file as well. And then for our edit form, I've added that as well. See, so of course, we designed the hero and the home.ejs templates in our previous sessions. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to start the server, npm run dev, and then we'll see how far. Okay, so our server is running. Let me go back to Chrome, and then here. Okay, so we didn't get any error thus far. So the next thing is to populate our database. I've added some dummy data here. I don't know the degree to which this data are accurate. So if you're like an ardent fan of these clubs, don't be offended. If I made any blunder here, you can correct it on your own hand. So let's try to add the first club. Let's say we're adding Real Madrid, for instance. So we come here in our navbar. We're going to use this add club button. As you can see, our font awesome icon is working. Even in our search form, the icon is working as well. So we're good to go. So here, I'm just going to click this button. All right, so we have a form. I don't think the form is looking bad. Okay, so let's try to populate our form. Here we're going to have Real Madrid. Real Madrid CF. It's not FC, CF. And then we're going to have a drop down. The league they play. They play in La Liga, Spain. For the logo, I'm going to copy this. So, yeah, I'm going to copy this. And then I'm going to paste here. Let me remove what is it called now? Okay, so let me remove this. So, the year they were established, I think it's 1902, if I'm not mistaken. How many trophies have they won? They've won 101 trophies. Okay, so let's populate that. 101. Their standard player is Kylian Mbappe, okay, the French guy. And then their coach. And their coach is Alvaro Arbeloa. See, I've played with this before, and I say, uh, the data is being cached in my browser. And then the captain, it's Daniel Carvajal, if that pronunciation is correct. And then for the owners, uh, they have some kind of club members, socios, that's what they call them. And then Santiago Bernabeu, so we have it. Okay, so for the club history, let me go to my browser and then I can get, um, let me do Real Madrid. Real Madrid. Uh, let's see what Wikipedia has for us. See, these guys are so popular. Look at all of the hit I've come across right before we even go to the Wikipedia. Okay, so I'm just going to copy and paste some of the information we have here. Real Madrid is the most successful, blah, 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 blah. Okay. You would think this success is going to cure world hunger. But in any case, it's nice. So here I'm going to paste this here. Okay, so moment of truth now. So if I click Save Club, if everything works as it should, this should populate our database. Otherwise, we're going to get a big fat error. And then our application is going to redirect us to our hero.ejs page. So fingers crossed. Let me click Save Club. Okay, so now this is working. Good. So for the club detail, if I click this card, it should take us to that club detail page. Okay, so this is working as well. All right. And if I click Edit Club, it should open the Edit view for us. Okay, so this is working as well. So we just need to add, I'm going to add 2 more clubs. And then we're going to call it quits. And then I'm going to leave the link to where you can get the complete code for the application. Okay, so that when you watch the video, you can play along with the code. So I'm going to go back here, and then I'm going to add another club. This time, what should we add? Let's add Bayern Munich. Okay, FC Bayern Munich. Okay, FC Bayern Munich. FC Bayern Munich. Okay. They play in the Bundesliga, if I'm not mistaken. And then for their logo, just going to copy the logo we have here. Copy. And I'm going to paste here. Okay, so let me remove this extra character so that it doesn't mess up the link. Okay, so this works. They founded in 1900. So this is 1900. Excuse me. For the trophies, they won 83 trophies. Like I said, guys, I don't know how accurate these figures are. So if I was wrong, please take the liberty to make the correction on your hand. Their standard player, I think we know, is Harry Kane. And then for the coach is Vincent Kompany. Their captain, I'm not quite sure with their captain. Okay, Manuel Neuer, so that's the legendary goalkeeper. And then for their owners, let's see, who is the owner? Albert Einstein, that's the president. That can be the owner. But I'm just going to leave that as some kind of placeholder, because if he's a president, then it means there's some kind of conglomerate going on there. So it can be the owner. But then anyway, it's just a placeholder for now. For the stadium is Allianz Arena, I think. And then for description, let me do Bayern Munich. Okay. Let's go to Wikipedia and let's see what Wikipedia has for us. FC Bayern Munich. Okay, so I'm going to copy some of this information we have in our Wikipedia. I don't copy much, so this should do. And then here, just going to go back here and then paste. Okay, so let's save that. If I save, okay, so this is working. Let me show you the outlook of our database vis-a-vis what we've done so far. So if I refresh this, and you can see our database is being populated. Okay. Um, let's play with the edit. No, hold on. Before the edit, let's do the search. So if I do Real Madrid, and then I click enter. Okay, so this is working, guys. It's working. All right. So go back to Euro clubs. Okay. Let me edit. If I click Real Madrid again, in the edit section, if I click this edit club, see all of the information from the database, they're being populated. So the form is pre-populating this for us. And the reason we're able to do this is if you go to our detail view here, you realize we're using this EJS syntax to pre-populate this form. Okay, see our form action, it goes to this route, edit, then club.id. We define our route prior to this session here in our club route. You see, edit. Remember, we said HTML does not have a native update method. So that's why we resorted to using post method. Okay, so you see this route, edit, then ID. Okay, so when we go here, see our club or form action is pointing to this route. Guys, this route has to be the same as what we have in our route. If it's different, well, you're going to get a big fat error. And then, except in your case, your big fat error is well organized because we've written, what is it called now? We've written a middleware here in our server that handles our error elegantly. So this is rendering an error view, which we have designed here. But then a beautiful error is still an error, right? Okay. So in our edit form, you see what we have. We are including our partials, the header and the navbar. And then here, see, we're pre-populating this form. So in our first input, we have the name attribute set to this name. Of course, all of these, the name attribute has to be the same as the columns that we have in our database. So if you go to our database, let me click structure. All of these columns, they have to be the same as what is being specified in our HTML name attributes. Okay, so that you don't run into some kind of error. So here, so we have name, we have logo, and then you realize we're not explicitly passing our slug. And the reason why we are not explicitly passing our slug is because when we wrote our Ad Club controller here, we are using these, let me show you this. What is it? Okay, create club here. You see, we're using this regular expression to generate the slug from the name that we passed from our request body. Okay, so we're even doing some kind of check to ensure. Remember, in our database, we set our club to be unique. So in the event that, okay, maybe it's not quite unique, there is this conditional statement that says, if it's not unique, if it already exists in our database, then we can do another pattern here using the mat.floor and the mat.random inbuilt JavaScript method. Okay. Okay. I don't know what else is missing here. If there's anything missing, so far, it's going to be what is it called? It's going to be the responsiveness, the JavaScript code for handling the responsiveness. Uh, Perhaps we should write that, or if you guys are going to indulge me, maybe I should just skip that and then include it in the final code. Okay, so here I was going to try out the edit function. So if I do, let's say I reduce this to 100, okay, let's see whether, oh no, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, so if I do save changes, okay, now we have a big fat error. What is that? Something went wrong. You have an error in your SQL syntax. Check the manual that corresponds to your MariaDB. So what's the issue here? It's saying club model.js 28, club controller. So we're going to check that error in a bit. Okay, so it's a club model.js 28. Okay, hold on. What is this? Okay, so let's go back to club model. Okay, this error is related to our edit functionality. So what's the issue here? Update clubs, set update. Okay, so I think the syntax for that is not quite accurate. Update clubs, set where ID. Okay, I think this is the issue. Made a mistake here. Okay, so let me save this data ID. Now let's go back here. ID is not defined. I'm coming. Let's go back here. Okay, so here, one, edit club, and then here we'll say 100. Let's go. You say save changes. Still get the error. Say reference error. ID is not defined. What is that? Club model 28. Oh, let's see. Club model 28. It says ID is not defined. What's the issue here? Okay, I think I have to pass the ID here. Okay, so let's go back. Refresh. Okay, so we changed this to 100. So it's working now, guys. Sorry about that. I made some blunders in our model functions, or methods rather. So the edit functionality is working. The responsiveness in our footer.ejs, that's in our partials. What do we have here? Okay, so in our partials, perhaps let me just write a JavaScript code for handling the responsiveness. So here we have, what is it? Partials, and then we have footer. Okay, so we're gonna have a script tag here, script. Okay, and then we're gonna have window dot unload. Okay, Now we're going to set this to a function. Then we're going to do document.getElement by ID. I'm going to show you. Okay, so that's loading bar dot style dot width 0%. Okay, so that's that for that. What else? We could have window dot because this is just handling our loading bar. So window dot on before URN loaded. Okay, so let me just this. Let me set this to a function. And then inside here we can have documents.getElement by ID. Then this is the loading bar. Hold on. Loading bar. Then the style, the width. So here we go. So we go from 0 degrees to 0% to 100% for our loading bar. Okay, so let's handle our hamburger menu. So const menu is going to be document dot query selector mobile menu. So that's mobile menu. Okay, let me get the ID. Mobile menu. Okay, and then here I can do const menu links. Menu links. It's going to be document dot query selector. The ID is nav list. Okay, and then we should have menu dot add event listener. So what event listener is a click event. Then we're going to pass the callback function. Okay, and then here we can do menu dot class list dot toggle. Okay, so we can toggle its active class. In case you're wondering, this is active class. It's in our style.css. Okay, so then we can do. I made a mistake here. Hold on. Menu. Okay, and then inside our event listener, we can have menu links dot class list dot toggle. Okay, so we can toggle this to be active. So this shows and hide the hamburger menu for our what is it called? For our nav bar when we eat a particular screen size. Okay, and then if you're wondering here, I've undone the media queries. So you see, okay. So let's go back here and refresh. So it's working. Let me see. Okay, so it's working. So that's the code we just wrote. So our responsiveness is working. Okay, so this is our detail page. Okay. So I think that's it for this tutorial. Well, I hope you learn one or two things. So here, if you go back, what we have. All our APIs are working as they should. Even our responsiveness is working. So I'm going to leave a link to the code in the description. So guys, I'll see you the next time. Thanks for watching.